Hello everyone, this is Darko 2012, reading an article posted on or published by the Los Angeles Times, and it's titled "Speed Sensors on Red Light Cameras Could Raise Money Fast." And this is, of course, to no surprise to all of us who like low taxes and privacy and freedom and all that, because once the monster government starts to go bankrupt, the first thing that they do is start raising taxes, and they have to raise revenue, which means that we're already seeing it. You're not gonna see it. You just drive on the expressway, you see cops pulling people over left and right constantly. Um, that's just what they have to do. They have to pull in revenue. They get the pressure, and it's kind of a catch-22 with these speed sensors that they have now, kind of like the traffic red light cameras. So it's a separate thing now. So now when you go through through this intersection, not only are you being watched, right? Not only is it there a live feed of that intersection. Not only do they have license plates readers, right, that can read, how many license plates per second. Not only do they have facial recognition systems now, but they can now ticket you for going, well, not now, but they can ticket you for, if you're going through and the light turns yellow and whatever, or if it's red or you turn on red, a lot of people do that. You're going to get ticketed, and it's most likely you're going to get ticketed even more now, since they're going to start white gloving everything, which means that they're going to actually enforce all these crazy laws that exist. And now here's another tool that they have when you go through that intersection, which is they're going to sense your speed. This is in California for right now. It usually California is a good way to test what will happen throughout the rest of the country. Yes, California is somewhat liberal on the coast, and but a lot of the California is actually Republican once you get away from the coast. So it's a good barometer to see what is coming our way. Um, but here, let me just go in here and explain what exactly these speed sensors are. Reporting from Sacramento, speeding may be dangerous for drivers, but it can soon be a boon for California's fiscal health. Tucked deep into the budget that Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger unveiled Friday is a plan to give cities and counties the green light to install speed sensors on red light cameras to catch and ticket speeding cars. Those whizzing by a radar-equipped detectors at up to 15 miles per hour over the limit would have to pay $225 per violation. So if the speed limit's, 25 and you're doing 40, which a lot of people do, that's $225. That's pretty steep. Um, Small government advocates want to put the brakes on the plan. Of course they do. But you never know. I mean, maybe liberals, maybe liberals don't like this as well. I don't know. Yeah, they're big government, but at the same time, I would think that liberals are also for privacy as well. But that's what I said. It's a catch-22 now, so you kind of have to live with it. That's the tyranny of living under a state, under a government, right? So you're kind of bound by these laws that they weren't enforcing while the times were good. Now the times are bad. Now you're still bound by that. Now they're gonna clamp down on us. This is a budget item for the state, said Lew Uhler, president of the National Tax Limitation Committee. This is totally reprehensible. Red light cameras are already in place in the communities across the Southland. The governor wants to install speed detectors in 500 of those cameras, which would nab an estimated 2.4 million speeding violators a year, according to the State Department of Finance. In Beverly Hills, for instance, there are 9 red light cameras, which could catch 835 speeders a month, the Schwarzenegger administration estimated. That's crazy, though. In Beverly Hills, there's only 9 red light cameras, and I mean, if that's actually true, that's pretty crazy. But the only reason I could see that maybe would be that maybe it's so high scale. I don't know. I've never actually. I've been to Beverly Hills, but only through the really fancy part. I'm sure there's a crappy part, but um, the only reason I could see that is just because those people have a lot of money in that city and they don't like to be spied on. So maybe that's why they only have 9 cameras. But I know here in Indiana, dude, I mean, we're conservative, and for the most part, as far as what conservative still means to America. But we got cameras flying up everywhere. We even got like what I think are speed sensors, but they're saying that they're. I've heard other people say that these new things that they're putting up in the intersections are actually for the EMTs, for the fire trucks, so that when they go through the intersection, they can control the traffic lights. I'm not exactly positive on that, so I don't know. If anybody knows about that, I was gonna say if you know anything about these new things that are going up in intersections, they look like cameras, but they're not. They actually look like a mix between a camera and an actual radar detector. And they're posted on all four ways. And like I said, I've heard that they're for controlling the traffic lights, but I've never actually seen them used, so I don't really know for sure, and I haven't read anything, and they don't post anything about them. But they could now that I'm reading this article, it could there's a good chance that those things could be speed detectors. Um, and it says that would add up to big bucks for cash-strapped California, about 337 million through June 2011 to pay for state courts. Every year after that, the program would generate nearly $500 million. The finance department says local governments would get a share, all of which annoyed Uhler. I was nailed by one of these red light turn cameras. Uh, it's so irritating, he said. As for the possibility of driving a smidgen over the speed limit and receiving an unwelcome ticket weeks later in the mail is just obnoxious, he said. The proposal also touted safety. There would be fewer accidents and injuries to drivers, passengers, and pedestrians. That's a bunch of crap, because actually in college I did an article on that, and I did the research, and I found that these traffic cameras actually increase accidents due to the fact that people don't like to be told what to do by machines, and I don't know if that's just a natural human instinct. That's how I am. I think it's actually healthy to go through a stop sign once in a while, to turn on red, only because if you're constantly doing what these machines are telling you to do, you don't think about it, but passively you're obeying machines. And I think that although traffic lights are good as far as maybe keeping the flow of traffic and commerce and safety and all that is good, but we have these traffic circles. I've lived in South Carolina. They had traffic circles and they worked fine and efficiently. And here in Indiana, they've got a traffic circle and it works fine. And I like it because it gives the people, the freedom to regulate themselves. And so I think that half of these things with these cameras and all that is to make you obey, like stop signs, to make you, it's like mind control. It's one small effect, part of mind control where you're just, you're obeying signs, you're obeying lights and machines. And I don't really like that. But that's how these things get packaged and sold to the public, right? That's how they get sold, by safety, right? You throw an RFID chip in your child, you'll never lose your child. Um, you'll never lose, you can store all your health records if you just get this RFID chip installed in you. If we make drugs illegal, we'll decrease crime and murders. Um, but yeah, fewer accidents and injuries. And like I said, I did the research, and yeah, most people. That's what I was getting at, and I'll finish my point up here. Is that it actually increases these traffic lights increase accidents, and if you don't believe me, you can go and you can just type it up and do your own research. Um, but the way the lights work in the cameras, people end up just going. Actually, they're trying to obey the lights so much because they're so scared of getting fined that they prematurely stop. So when they should be normally going, people are stopping prematurely, and they're actually causing accidents. I don't know if that makes sense to anybody, but hopefully it does. And I just wanted to make that point. So I don't know what this is going to do. If this is going to have the same effect with these speed sensors, but it's just another thing, man. I tell you, man, you go through these intersections now. It is Big Brother, dude. They're going to have all kinds of crap hanging off these things. So thank you.